Two of Marvel's greatest powerhouses are about to collide. On one side, Colossus, the X-Men's unbreakable Man of Steel, who's wrestled a Juggernaut and even stood against the Hulk. On the other, the Thing, the heart and muscle of the Fantastic Four, famous for throwing hands with gods, titans, and the strongest there is. It's a battle of grit versus steel, so let's find out who really comes out on top. Let's get to it. Ben Grimm, the ever-loving blue-eyed Thing, one of Marvel's oldest, toughest, and most underrated powerhouses. Before he was covered in orange rock, Ben was an astronaut and Air Force test pilot, a man of action. But his life changed forever when his best friend Reed Richards asked him to help pilot an experimental rocket. Ben, Reed, Sue Storm, and Johnny Storm were bombarded by cosmic rays. When they returned to Earth, Ben found himself transformed into a walking mountain of stone. Stronger than steel, tougher than concrete, but still with the same big heart underneath. That's how the Fantastic Four was born, Marvel's first family of adventurers, saving the world from science-based threats, cosmic invaders, and dangers from beyond time and space. The Thing's strength is really no joke. Early on, he could press around 80 tons, but over the years his strength has only grown, thanks to intense training and further doses of cosmic radiation. His feats are staggering. He's held up multi-story buildings, weighing tens of thousands of tons, lifted an entire oil rig out of the ocean, shattered quasars' energy constructs, and even broke through adamantium chains. He's once overpowered a press designed to punch through an entire planet. And it doesn't stop there. Underwater, Ben has matched Namor blow for blow, even gaining the upper hand. The Silver Surfer himself admitted he needed to boost his power just to get the edge over Ben Grimm. Then there's his never-ending rivalry with the Hulk. Sure, the Hulk is stronger overall, but Ben has knocked out the Immortal Hulk, drawn blood from Savage Hulk, and forced Green Scar Hulk, one of the angriest Hulks of all, to take him seriously. He may not always win, but he always stands tall. Physically, the Thing is one of the most durable heroes in Marvel. His rocky hide has let him tank bazooka fire, high caliber rounds, massive explosions, even a planet-cracking blast from Galactus himself. Extreme heat, cold, pressure, none of it phases him. Very few things can even pierce his body. Wolverine's adamantium claws can, for example, but that's one of the only exceptions. But here's the truth. The Thing's greatest power isn't his strength or his durability, it's his spirit. His willpower is legendary. When he fought the champion of the universe, it was like he got every bone in his body broken. He was battered, bleeding, and crushed. But he kept standing back up. He refused to quit. And the champion finally surrendered. Not because he couldn't win, but because he realized he could never break Ben Grimm's spirit. That's what makes the Thing so special. He's not just muscle, he's heart. He's resilient. He's the definition of never giving up, no matter how impossible the odds. The ever-loving blue-eyed Thing might not always get the spotlight, but he deserves to. He's one of Marvel's greatest heroes, a rock-solid powerhouse who proves time and time again that when the chips are down, it's always clobbering time. Pietro Rasputin grew up living a simple farm life in Russia. He never asked for power, never dreamed of battles with gods or monsters. But when his mutation surfaced, his entire body could transform into living steel, granting him colossal strength and making him one of the most powerful mutants on Earth. Professor Xavier recognized his potential immediately and gave him the chance to join the X-Men. From that moment forward, Pietro's quiet life as a farm boy and painter was over. He became Colossus, a warrior standing on the front lines of mutant kind's greatest struggles. What makes Colossus so unique is the transformation itself. At will, Pietro can exchange every carbon atom in his body for osmium atoms pulled from another dimension, reshaping his flesh and bone into organic steel. This happens in an instant. Once it's done, Colossus doesn't just look indestructible, he is. In this armored form, he retains his full range of motion, but his durability, stamina, and speed all increase dramatically. He can hold the form for days at a time, only reverting back when he chooses to, or if he's knocked out. Even his eyes become metallic, able to deflect bullets without so much as a blink. And of course, there's the strength. As a teenager, Colossus was already a Class 70 powerhouse. But as an adult, his strength climbed into the Class 100 range, putting him on par with Marvel's heavy hitters. And his feats back this up. He's arm wrestled the Thing to a stalemate. He staggered the unstoppable Juggernaut with a barrage of strikes. He's temporarily restrained the Savage Hulk with both force and skill. And in battle with Gladiator, a cosmic powerhouse who can rival Thor, Colossus traded blows before finally being overcome. Now, these aren't minor skirmishes. These are legendary clashes that prove Colossus isn't just strong for an X-Man, he's strong, period. But strength is only half the story. Colossus's durability is off the charts. In armored form, he can take direct hits from 1810mm howitzer shells without flinching. He's walked away from explosions equivalent to hundreds of pounds of TNT. He can survive at temperature extremes that range from near absolute zero to over 9,000 degrees Fahrenheit. He's withstood the impact of a speeding truck and shrugged off bullets like they were raindrops. His body doesn't rust, corrode, or wear down under normal conditions. Once the steel form is active, Colossus is about as close to invulnerable as a human being can get. Yet what makes Pietro Rasputin truly remarkable isn't just the powers, it's the man underneath them. Despite everything he's endured, despite the tragedies, the battles, the loss, he remains a gentle soul, a painter, a brother, a man who never wanted violence, but accepts it because it's the price of protecting others. He's trained in hand-to-hand combat, mastering judo and wrestling, sharpening his skills under Wolverine's guidance in the X-Men's danger room. But even at his fiercest, Colossus fights with compassion, using his incredible power to shield others from harm. That's the heart of Colossus. He isn't defined by being indestructible steel. He's defined by the humanity that drives him to stand tall, no matter how heavy the weight of the world becomes. So, who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now let's be honest here, this fight is about as close can get. These two juggernauts have consistently been portrayed as near equals when it comes to strength throughout the years, even both getting a victory and being evenly matched when they arm wrestled against each other. But by and large, well, I think the Thing is actually the stronger one out of the two. He's got more strength than Colossus, as even Cyclops seems to imply that. That's not taking anything away from Colossus. He's been able to lift massive machines and buildings. He's thrown around the Juggernaut before, and even managed to crack the Juggernaut's helmet. The Thing isn't the only guy who's been able to tussle with the Hulk. Hulk has said before that Colossus could probably give him a good fight, and Colossus really proved this too. He's actually been able to fight against the Hulk before and threw the Hulk around. But ultimately, I really think the Thing is the stronger one. Whether the Thing is just naturally stronger or just has infinitely more heart and can punch way above his weight class, I don't know. But I do know that the Thing has pulled off some more impressive feats and has beaten some more impressive opponents. Hyperion before has said that the Thing's punches are just like getting hit with Mjolnir by Thor, and Hyperion would know a thing or two about that. He sent gods to their knees, knocked out Silver Surfer before. He's been able to throw down with Namor under the water or the Red Hulk. Silver Surfer again. And for what little comparisons there have been between Hulk and Colossus, well, the Thing and the Hulk have consistently been able to throw down throughout the years, and the Thing has won his fair share. Hulk is still obviously the Hulk, he's still stronger, and the strongest one there is. But the Thing is consistently throwing down and holding his own. Even like being able to straight arm wrestle against the Hulk and hold his own, then hold his own while getting ambushed by a bunch of villains, and then continue to hold his own while straight up getting hit with a nuclear bomb. Colossus has no real feats against the strongest guy in Marvel that compare to the likes of that. And I have to say that the Thing has just simply shown the better strength feats between the two. I'd also say that the Thing is probably tougher and more durable compared to Colossus. And again, don't want that to take anything away from Colossus. He's taken punches from Gladiator, from the Juggernaut, from World War Hulk, and yet still, every time, he's managed to pick himself back up and continue fighting. Colossus is just real tough and very, very hard to go down. He's going to be able to take a whole lot of punches from the Thing and keep on going. But the Thing just has no quit in him, on top of being naturally tougher than Colossus as well. He's been able to withstand and push back a hydraulic press that was meant to press straight through planets. He's taken blasts from Galactus himself, plenty of beatings and punches from the Hulk. It was said before that only the Hulk and the Thing could survive the resulting destruction of a nuclear war. But more than anything, the Thing just refuses to stop or go down. It's an intrinsic part of his character. He isn't going down, no matter what. Like in a fight against Kree Sentries, well, they were able to one-shot both Red Hulk and She-Hulk. But when it came time to go up against the Thing, well, he was able to take blasts from 4 of them all at once and keep on going and win the fight. It's the reason why he was able to beat a mind-controlled Hulk, because the Thing just refused to quit, took the beating, and hung in there long enough to land the final blow. Even when the Thing went up against the champion, well, he was the only hero of Earth to last more than 1 round against the Elder of the Universe, which would include Colossus, all because the Thing just refuses to quit. He refused to go down. Don't get me wrong, I think this is a really close fight. Colossus and the Thing are still relatively close to each other, but the Thing is stronger, he's tougher, and ultimately, he's not going down, and he's not going to stop until he wins the fight. The Thing just has the heart to win, and it's what's going to get him to win here too. The Thing wins.